Bob, we're live and you're muted.
Yes, welcome everybody to welcome everybody to today's episode of Wisdom Cafe Live. Meet the author. My name is Dr. Bob Choat, and I think I'm the Transformational Grandmaster, or I'm trying to transform here. And my beautiful co-host is Dr. Sofie Nubani, the Queen of Laughter and Wisdom, who is amazing in every way, continuing her journey, and uh, just we're inviting everybody. So before we get started in terms of today's show, because it's going to be an amazing show, and
Yes.
so me and Sophie Nubani, we have a class coming up tomorrow, and it's going to be an amazing class on NLP. So go here to Wisdom Cafe Live. You can go to Wisdom Cafe Live .live, and you can click on a link, and it has more information on the show. It's on the class itself. We're talking about like 3+ hours to teach really in depth. Uh, it's basic, but it's very powerful strategies and techniques on excellence and more. And by the way, Sophie, you need to check out her site, drsophienubani.com. And she's got a lot of great things going on there in terms of her coaching and much more. So go check out drsophienubani.com as well. And
Oh, thank you.
today, it's going to be an amazing show. Even if you see a delay on my part with a syncing, you may see my lips moving besides my talking. I'm not sure what's happening
He's
I thought
practicing. Bring
I
your little
think
bear on. That's what you're doing.
I think I'm just in another uh, zone
Yeah,
altogether.
definitely.
Yeah, I am. I am.
Well,
I love that. I love
zone
Dr.
out
Joanne.
and let's do it. Let's do it.
So today we have on our show, and you can see right here in the center, Dr. Joanne White. Now,
The amazing
the
Dr.
Dr.
Joanne White.
Joanne White, and she it has an amazing backstory. You guys are going to be finding out more about that.
Uh-oh.
And she's a 9-time author, and she's uh, just I don't know, Sophie. You know like a lot about her. I mean, it's just her background is so amazing in terms of what she's gone through and being able to come back and present her with her presence and everything. That she's going to describe that aspect of what she actually went through, and I already know a lot in terms of that backstory as we talked before. So, Joanne,
Yes.
there's so much more that I want to say, and I'm going to
Oh
get into
my
saying it.
goodness. Yes, yes. I mean,
Yeah,
from life coaching to
life
executive
coaching,
coaching
which which
and
which is
writing.
yeah, that's a part that I think she is much more than all those things. And if
Oh,
you guys
Oh,
will, yeah,
thank
much more than what her bio says, because we know what she brings in terms of her joy, which is what this is about. This is what this is
yes.
about. Her joy, her joy.
And her
And
expertise and her delivery and her way of truly being embodying the energy of love and joy and gratitude. I want to personally welcome Dr. Joanne, and you're a soul sister to me from depth of my soul. I mean, I have so much admiration, respect, and appreciation to you walking your talk and really practicing what you teach, in embodying that, and being this amazing, beautiful leader that consistently delivers what you teach. And you know what? Not many are in that space, and with no judgment, with love and light to everyone. But when you find those qualities and authenticity in a human, that in times of crisis, in times of a world pandemic, continues to show up to inspire and empower others with not one less of a degree of love and effort than it was prior to, including when they're facing their own personal challenges. And I really believe that those type of leaders are very, they're gems. They're a rare treasure in our world. And you definitely are one of those gems, Dr. Joanne. We are so, so, so happy, delighted, and so blessed to have you on our airtime. I know we've been trying to do this for a while because Dr. Joanne is a busy woman, you guys. I mean, she's like, okay, I have another client going on, so we're like figuring this out, and so.
Well,
I'm
you
telling
guys, I love you both, and we've shared so much together, our laughing and our joy, and you both are truly a blessing to me, and I adore you, and I am honored to be on the show finally today.
See, after all this pandemic has brought a lot of blessings, because there's so many great things that really united people and got them together and made them even bring that character that's in them already to speed, because those light workers, like, this pushes them more, even out of their comfort zone, making time, making a space, giving a hand, supporting, you name it. So yes, welcome.
Taken in by the light here. You see, it's just like,
yeah, we see the beautiful reflection of the light on your face. It looks very sexy, Joanne.
That's what I'm going for. All right, let's get into it, guys. Let's do it. See, what our audience doesn't know is that when we talk on the phone, the three of us, all we do is we laugh.
That's right.
Hysterical, and there's so much vibrancy and love and joy in just the three of us being together. So I am so happy to be here, and my joy is like exuding.
On that note, we have a beautiful vibration of joy. Dr. Bob always be able technologically to add to our time here. Do we have that rhythm of joy going on?
Do you want to go into the story first before?
Yes, sure. Yes.
So what are we talking about?
All right. Let's talk about first and getting our audience to know more about you. Obviously, we're always excited when we talk to you. We're like, wait a minute, this is a live show, Sofie.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to know something about Dr. Joanne White.
Yes.
I thought
we actually do, but our audience does.
Okay. Okay, so I'm an international best-selling author, a speaker, an energy master teacher, a coach, a consultant, and so much more. And basically, I started really young, when I was like about 17, working with children with special needs. And I was going to go into my career, I was going to study English literature. However, I was so moved by these children that I switched my major. I decided I was going to go into education and special education. And there's a beautiful story about this. There was one little girl that nobody wanted, that she used to bite her arms, and she'd have scars all over her arms, and she used to bite the inside of her cheeks. And she was also an anoretic, which means that she had no control over her bladder or whatever. And nobody wanted to go near her. And I just felt, let's do it. And I remember working with her and singing with her and dancing with her and massaging her cheeks. and she started to shine and come into this beautiful being, and that's sort of what changed me into my career. It was like, wow, look at this beautiful girl that nobody wanted, and all you need to do, I might cry on this, all you need to do is show this little being some love and some patience and some understanding, and she blossomed. And what a beautiful gift that was to me. I mean, but to her, to see this unwanted being suddenly being loved, not just by me, but suddenly other people wanted to be around her and be with her. And that is beautiful.
You provided a feeling for her to even love herself again.
Yes, yes.
And by
that's
yes.
so, but you said something, Sofie, that's so important, especially in this time that we're in. Oftentimes we doubt who we are, we forget to love ourselves, we are more critical, and we have to be so patient with ourselves and understanding. And I mean, I have some little humor that I do because I yell at I bumped into the wall by mistake, and I had a conversation with the wall. Why did you bump into me? Meantime, I knew darn well I was the one that bumped into the wall, but it was a way of just creating for myself some comic relief. And during this time, and the three of us know that so beautifully, during this time, you have to be able to laugh. You have to look at those moments where you can find moments of joy. I was remembering something before I came on here earlier. I wanted to share it with you. I remember walking, it was last summer, and I was walking in the morning, and I just happened to turn my head, and there was a bush that had all these butterflies on it. And I mean, I've seen butterflies before, but I didn't see but the bush was all lit up. And I hadn't looked, turned my head, been in that moment to see that beautiful blessing that I saw. It was like, wow, look at this magical moment that I've never, ever all my life, and I'm ancient, that I've never seen before. And there it was. So it's so important to look at those times, especially those moments, whether they're moments by yourself, excuse me, or moments with other people, or moments with, like I sing to the birds. When I told you, Sofie, that one of my songs is for the birds in the morning, like, it's a hello greeting. So people may think I'm a little strange, but that's okay. I am a little strange.
Yeah, you're truly an embodiment of love. And when we have this internally, it's just some people have a surplus of it, and they're made to give more of it, and others to receive from it. Yes.
Oh yeah. Right. That's why we're so sisters. I can feel the love in your heart that exudes all over. So you wanted the backstory, Bob. Is that correct?
Yeah.
All right. I just started revealing it too. Only a few people knew about it for a while because I was just coming into getting a sense of how to get out of it. And basically, my energy. So I've always ran up and down the stairs, multitasking, doing all sorts of things and flying and being fine, except for one day when I was doing that. And suddenly I ended up down a whole flight of stairs on the floor. My glasses, not these, because the other ones are totally broken, they fell somewhere. And I was like, am I alive? Am I dead? Am I in another dimension? So I was just lying there, like just trying to figure out what was next. So basically, I had a traumatic brain injury. It took years, and there's still some stuff that's going on with it. But what came out of it, and that's the most important thing, because I'm not going to go through all the trials and tribulations. That's for another story. But why I want to even share it is because what I started to feel, and I've always been this way, but it just got intensified and accentuated, was, wow, I'm alive. I'm actually alive. I can speak. I could be here with you guys. I'm going to cry. I could be here with you guys right now, laughing and sharing love and joy. And what a blessing, despite all the crap that we're going through, despite the fact that I couldn't speak, that I couldn't go into stores, that sounds were magnified and light was so bright that I had to wear glasses and sunglasses and inside and a hat and whatever, and to just be able to kind of handle normal, so-called normal life. And so I decided that it was time to share it, because even though we're going through a difficult time, and even though I went through that difficult time, there was something out of it that's so precious, and that is the feeling of gratitude. Gratitude, and again, if you take a look at that butterfly, that bush with the butterflies, gratitude could just be a small moment, a moment that there you are, you're there for that moment, and then the moment's gone, but that moment is something that you could cherish, whether it's a moment with a little kid, whether it's a butterfly, whether it's your dog, whether it's the three of us being together, whatever it is, that moment is precious. And we need to pay attention to those moments, because we could pay attention to all the laborious things we're going through, and the fear and the doubt and the not knowing and da 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 da. And I'm not discounting that. They're there, and we have to acknowledge that. We have to be real with ourselves. But at the same time, what we need to do is offset that with the gratitude. And when you're in gratitude, just being thankful for that moment, for the butterflies, for us sharing this moment together, there's a joy. There's a beautiful joy that just comes up. It's like, wow. And I want all of us, no matter what you're going through, and we're going through losses, and we're going through change, and we're going through stress, da 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 da. And I'm not saying we're not, and I'm going through it with you, differently, but with you. But through all of that, you have an opportunity. And the opportunity is, where are you putting your mind? Where are you putting your attention? Where are you putting your emotions? Is it in the fear? Is it in the doubt? Or is it on those moments, those joyful, treasured, precious, cherished moments that may never come around again? I'm sorry, I was like too exuberant.
It's okay. You're full of life.
Yeah, so going through this traumatic brain injury and then coming out on the other side, and it seems like you found a lot of areas that are positive because of that. I can concur, because I had almost a similar experience. I think without the TBI, where I remember it's the year 2000, and I was putting up Christmas lights on the outside, and I decided stupidly to stand on the top of a 6-foot step ladder.
Oh.
And one of the legs of the step ladder bent, and I went over onto my back. I fell all the way down to the ground. And I can remember, like, everything went black, and then I woke up and I said, am I dead or alive?
Right.
I mean, I just started looking around like that. And it kind of like, if this is my time to go, I just I started looking. Yeah, I don't think I looked back on my life. I think I looked more forward, but I stayed in a moment, but kind of forward in terms of, there's things I wanted to do. And then I started feeling some of the pain in my body. I said, well, I'm still alive. And I had a huge bruise on my back, and I think I had a bump on the back of my head. But yeah,
Good thing
so
you didn't. Did you break anything?
no, my whole back, my arm, my whole back was black and blue.
Ooh.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I had
So
other injuries from the fall, but that they weren't nearly as intense as the
the
head
the
injury.
the,
So
the head, yeah, I think I got lucky
yeah,
that I landed mostly on my back
still
because
painful.
yeah, it's fine. I got up and I walked around. I started looking around. I said, and ironically, I started thinking, was I embarrassing falling backwards? I started looking around. Is there anybody else around?
Did anybody see me? Well, when I was doing it, I was totally alone, and I was just
Oh,
lying
wow.
there thinking,
Oh, that's
But
dangerous because you could have needed someone to make a call like fast
well,
and before you would.
pe- doctor said, "How come you didn't call 911? How come you didn't call?" And I thought, well, I'm going to lie here for a while and see what happens and see if I'm going to be able to move. So I was
Mm,
lying there for a while and thinking, okay, now I know I'm alive like you, Bob. And I got that sense that I'm here. All right, I'll deal with it. And the thought of calling 911, all I could think about was that they'd have to break the door down or whatever because I couldn't move. And I didn't want my door to be broke. And eventually I got up. So it's like, okay, I got up and here we go.
you made it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I don't need you to break down my door. I'm up. I may not
yeah,
be totally together, but I'm here and
Wow.
I'll deal with it.
How long did it take from the time you had your injury till you felt back a little bit more grounded and back into your kind of routine and zone?
I don't know because it's taken years
Oh,
of,
wow.
initially it was not being able to talk or remember things and not being able to formulate sentences or
Oh,
be,
wow.
I would talk on the phone
mm,
and I'd say, "You're talking too loud, Joanne." "I'm not." "But you are. I can't and people didn't get it either. And
Mm.
that's for another thing because it's like things were intensified, and I've worked a lot with children with special needs and children with autism, and often and I mean, when we're talking normally right now, but when the sound is magnified, it's like you feel like you're going crazy a little bit. And so the sounds would be a normal sound would be magnified, like even the knock like that. And I told you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
story. Remember that sound, and we're not going to go there, but just somebody do it tapping on a desk or whatever like that was so loud, and it would just
Mm.
totally offset me.
You're very
But
sensitive.
overly so. And how do you live and deal with so-called normal life and people when you're like that? I remember a friend saying we were on the phone and her dog, she had 3 dogs, and her dog started to bark, all 3 of them, because somebody was walking outside. And I said, "I can't do it. I gotta," and she said, "Joanne, I'm getting off the phone now. I love you, but."
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
so, I remember apologizing a lot to people because they didn't get it, and I was in a situation where they didn't know where I was coming from, and I was so like you said, overly sensitive to sound and to light and to whatever, even
Mm.
people, that it was a little hard. But here I am. So.
Question, with being so overly sensitive in those areas, do you feel like was your intuition increased by any chance?
Well, I've always been sensitive to, so it just magnified it. So I've
That's
always,
what I'm thinking. Like, was
yeah,
it
I
back?
mean, I would
Okay.
say years before, I would say it's raining. Somebody would say, "No, it's not." I said, "Yeah, I can feel it. It's raining." And then a few minutes later, it would rain. So yes,
Yeah.
it got much more intensified, and
Wow.
including the creative and the intuitive stuff. So
Interesting, huh? Because I was just thinking, like, okay, all your senses got so much more magnified and heightened, And I know that you're intuitive. And I was just thinking, if that got that way, I was like, then we know what's the reason behind all this for your
Well,
journey.
well, I think I told you this story, but and whatever. I remember walking because walking was actually helping me, and I would be called like in my head, walk down this road, walk down this street or whatever. And I always pay attention to my intuition. And so one time I'm walking and I see this bird in the middle of the road and I thought it was dead. So I go over to the bird and it looked alive. So I picked the bird up and I'm holding the bird in my hands. And I do energy work and I'm doing energy work to the bird and I'm talking to the bird and I'm saying, I don't know what's going to happen to you, but it's much better than lying in the road and having cars run over you and whatever. We're going to do the best that we can. And I'm doing the energy work and I'm talking and I finally get to my street and I feel this trembling in my hand and the bird flies away.
Oh,
And
Oh,
wow.
somebody
wow.
said,
Yeah.
Joanne, did you just heal that bird? I said, I don't know what happened, but the bird flew away, which
Oh,
was a blessing. It was nice to be
yes,
able to do
yes.
that.
Yeah, that's what you are. You are that even in your social media presence. Your energy is healing and your love frequency is so vibrant and vital to anywhere you share or arrive in your presence. So that's a beautiful thing. And
Well, thank you.
I could see why that bird healed.
Yes.
But see, I think it's so important now to be able to share that. People are in
Hmm.
so much doubt and fear, and there's so much dissension and separation going around, not just in our country, but in the world. And so we have to have a healing. We have to be able to see what's important. And what's important is the love that we all have within ourselves. And if we shared that, if we were able to all bring that out, no matter who we are, what we look like, what we sound like, where we live or whatever, could you imagine how
Yes.
beautiful it would all be?
Amen to
Yes.
that.
I remember watching a YouTube video. They were interviewing these former North Koreans who had defected North Korea, and they were told, and they had been in the North Korean military. There's one woman who was an officer, and then two young guys, and their thing is that they were told about Americans were like they were this evil
Mm,
um, people who would eat your children, and they had long pointing nose and all. I mean, so they had no access to like, well, we have the internet to find out things.
right.
So yeah, so they had this perception of Americans, but they defected because it was so terrible there in terms of every people were just starving. Millions of people have already died. So they came across, and when they finally met Americans, they could not believe um, that these were Americans. And like one lady, when she came to the United States, and she went in and like to order food, and these Americans would like allow her to move up front, and she couldn't believe how nice they were. And then when she was with her husband, then when she went to go uh, through a door, her husband went out first, and the door came slamming back towards her, and this big American guy stepped in front and kept the door from hitting her, and she couldn't believe it that her own husband uh, allowed the door to hit her, but American stepped in. So she just absolutely loves the people here, and they're completely opposite of what she was taught. And
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing as I looked at these North Koreans. They're like us. They have their
Mm-hmm.
Right.
their hurts, their issues, but they're humans like us. They're part of this humanity, and and the regular people we would want to be friends with them. And the
Mm-hmm.
same thing, we look at all these regular people across the world.
But
And
that's what's so very important is to be able to recognize the connection that we have to one another again, even though we may have been taught something different or we learned something, and it's really about forgetting about some of that because it may or may not be true. But you
Mm-hmm.
have to remember, like you said, Bob, we're all kind of made from the same thing. And I feel the same way about animals and about birds and whatever.
Yes,
I mean,
nature.
yes, because we have to pay attention to you see animals nurturing their babies and caring for even other species, and hello, we need to be able to do that so that we can all live together. And it sounds like la da 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 da, but it's really where we are right now. We have choices. We have choices as to how we want to live on this planet. And my choice is to do it with love and with joy and with helping one another and with feeling the connectedness that the three of us always feel when we're together. And to allow that feeling, that connectedness to just be through everything that we do and touch everybody. And I think that's, I mean, it sounds like, but it's not, it's real.
So, how has your life been dedicated in service and in helping others? Because I see your heart and your vision, and through your books. I mean, you guys, you need to Google Dr. Joanne and go on her website, which we will leave in the end. She has really contributed to many areas and beautiful ways and systems and processes and from personal to career to many things, because when we talk energy healing or emotional or your mindset, it's something that is of what you're made of, and you can't separate your career from your own, because you're that same person dealing with your issues. If you're handling them in a not right way, it's going to add pressure and stress, and you're going to get out of alignment in actually being able to be more productive and constructive to your life. And those ways and her strategy and her style of doing all that is really amazing. And the most beautiful thing is you actually feel the gentleness with the assertiveness at the same time, being gentle with the love, but she still shakes you up, wakes you up to make sure that you are on the right track and you're seeing the path clearer so you can have a better direction towards stuff. So that's why I wanted you to share with our audience, like, how has your life been dedicated in serving and helping others?
Well, I told you that story about children, about beginning with children with special needs, and
Mm-hmm.
I've also done a lot with anti-bullying. Not on, and I've been on shows about anti-bullying, and I have a book, Bully Free, which
Mm-hmm.
actually is interviews of people that have been bullied. And interestingly, again, what comes out from a lot of that is you're talking about assertiveness, and thank you for that. But it is to be able to find who you are, to be able to access that inner strength if you're given the opportunity to. And, while we're going through this time, I just want to say something about resilience, because it's not resilience isn't necessarily something that you're born with, but resilience is what's going to help us get through this time. It's about, again, being real about what's going on, knowing that having a faith, having an optimism that no matter what, you're going to get through it. Yeah, you have to face it and you're not going to run from it, but you have to get through it. And I've also done a lot of work with empowering women, a lot of books that way, and working with families and working with people with differences and being able to show, like we've been talking about, that what we need to do is be in alignment with one another, and also be in alignment with ourselves, because
Amen.
it's so important to really know who you are and to take a look. I've been working with a few clients recently who are having anxiety and panic attacks and whatever, and this, where we are right now, can produce all that stuff.
Yes.
And I say, and you know this from NLP, I say, well, where are you focusing your attention? What are your thoughts? Because we have the ability to shift our thoughts. We have to pay attention to it. And I'll tell you a story. When I was younger, my head would constantly tell me that I wasn't good enough. It would say, you can't do that. You can't walk down that street. You're going to fall. You can't wash that dish. You're going to break it. You can't speak to those people. You're going to sound like an idiot. You can't do that. You can't. And it was like constant. And I was talking to a client the other day and telling this person about those voices because he has them in his head. And I said, those voices sometimes sound so powerful that they're overpowering and we're like this, but we have the opportunity to shift it. It's a tape. It's something that we've been playing over and over again, and we just have to shift it to change the habit. And we can't, if I can do it, and I had to do it when I was little, and if I could do it, anybody could do it. It doesn't mean that, it does mean that you have to take moments to really focus and look at those thoughts or look at those emotions, even if they're unpleasant, and then introduce something else. So I don't know if I answered your question, because I'm having fun. I'm going all over today.
No, I mean, you were talking about resilience and ways of how you just gave them a little bit of an idea of one way of how you can do that is by shifting your thoughts and changing habits, which will change the patterns and your neurotransmitters in your brain, and you're going to be rewired to do a different new habit. But sometimes, and that's why I believe so much in the value of coaches and mentors, because myself, where I am today, I still have that. I would do it over and I'll still do it and I'll continue to do it because I'm always looking for someone who knows more than me, experienced more than me, from where I am today and everything I collected, because then they're going to give me a challenge and I'm going to see things in a different perspective again and go a little bit higher. And I really believe in that power. So a person that you're coaching who came to you with this anxiety and you gave them this little, insight of your own personal story, that might really give them a direction and a better way of how they can apply that to their lives. And now they are transformed to a better area. And so I really think it's very helpful and powerful. So yes, thank you for sharing.
Okay, thank you. Oftentimes people think, well, coaches and leaders and whatever, that they may not have gone through these personal experiences or whatever, and I think it's those experiences that make us stronger, that help us. I mean, years and years ago, I was going to go into movement therapy, and I was studying dance, and I had an injury, a knee injury. And I was going to different doctors, and no offense to doctors, but I wasn't getting healed the way I needed. And one doctor said, okay, so you need to get a weight boot for your, and exercise your knee, which I did. And it pulled out my back and I was in more pain. And so I started to look for alternative ways to heal myself, which opened up all these, and you guys know about all these alternatives, but it opened up all these avenues for me and to heal myself, and then to be able to say, okay, if I could help myself, I need to be able to use these tools, these resources to help somebody else. But there's a point there that I want to make. And the point is that, again, going through that first injury, that first adversity, where I couldn't drive a car, I couldn't sit, whatever. I thought the first time I was able to go to a beach and see the ocean, my tears were streaming because it was a while before I was able to do that. But even through that time, that adversity, that pain, that loss, that whatever, something beautiful came out of it. I mean, I learned new skills. I was able to heal myself. And hey, I'm still dancing, I mean, but the point is that even in these very difficult times, there's a takeaway if you're if you're paying attention to it. And it's not all hell, and it's not all adversity, and it's not all pain. So cherish those moments. And that's also why, I created that joy and gratitude video.
I was just about to ask you, what was your inspiration on your new release, Joy and Gratitude songs?
Again, my joy and gratitude for being alive. And it's interesting. And I was doing a presentation on self-empowerment many years ago for a group of about 100 professional women. And it was a PowerPoint, and I sent everything, and I was getting ready to travel, and I was just studying my notes, and these lyrics popped into my head. And like you guys know, when I pay attention to, so it wouldn't let me do anything else. So I wrote down the lyrics and the tune, and we sang it at conference, and it was fun. So fast forward, it was like 7 years later, I'm doing one of my power walks, and I hadn't thought about this song or these lyrics in over 7 years. And suddenly the song pops up, and I'm thinking, okay, I get it. Why now? And now is because we need this. We need to be able to know, again, what's important, what we can value, and to be able to let that lighten our load, so to speak. And so we can come from that place of joy and that place of gratitude. And gratitude brings joy into us.
I was going to tell you, how does that cultivate? How does gratitude cultivate joy?
When you're grateful, okay, when you're grateful, you start like smiling. You start feeling good about something, whether it's a kid or food or whatever it is. And it changes the feeling, and the feeling becomes lighter and more playful and more joyful. And so the more gratitude we bring in, the more joy we cultivate, like you said, in our lives.
And then it transforms us then from there.
Beautifully it does.
Oh my God. Yeah, I want to say something. When I heard, I mean, I bought the song, I got everything. I love it so much that truly, let me tell you, there was one time when I was just having so much going on, and I felt, overwhelmed, let's put that. And your song playing had just instantly gotten my childlike playfulness alive. And I was like, are you glad? I started singing, I was moving, I was happy, and I was like,
but you know what? I've modified that song, and I'll sing you the modification for the birds, because that's what I sing for the birds in the morning. But here's the thing: I play that song. Wait! I play that song when I'm feeling down, and the video is so uplifting and joyful and loving and playful that it just goes together.
Yes,
I know what you mean. You guys ready?
Do it. Let's do it. Come on, Sophie.
Are you grateful for your noise? Are you grateful for your life and your noise?
Hard to hear it.
Great.
Are you
grateful
for everything?
Love it.
So my version by birds, and that was not my voice, by the way. So the song for the birds is, are you grateful for your wings? Are you grateful you can sing? Are you grateful for the sunshine in the sky? Are you grateful for each day? Are you grateful come what may? Are you grateful and joyful you can fly?
Aww, I love it.
And they don't fly away when I'm walking that song.
She's the bird whisperer. Oh wow, this was so cool and true. How could people get a hold of this song and video and the book and all the beautiful things? I mean, this is really cool.
Well, you can go to the page, the one sheet on my website, drjoannewhite.com, but it's on, what's it called? It's actually, what?
Was it Gumroad?
It's on Gumroad. Right. And the idea of that is that because of some of the proceeds are going to the World Central Kitchen, and
oh my God, I have to say,
they are doing incredible work, not just for COVID in the United States, but for farmers and people all over the world. And it seemed to work together because the song, and it's also my Joy ebook, which gives you ideas about how to create joy and how to access the joy that's within us, because really it's in you. You just have to be able to pull it out. that the Joy ebook and the music video is here to help us with our emotional well-being, or mental well-being, or spiritual well-being, and the World Central Kitchen is there to help uplift us physically and help other people with their sustenance and their
Yes.
lives.
I mean, look at the timing going through such one of the biggest pandemics that we faced as a human race. And look at the gift that you're offering. Not only that, but look at where the proceeds are going. I mean, it's just amazing. And because I was reading about that foundation, it's really cool.
Yeah,
And I know that you were very particular studying many of them till you chose that one. Because I remember talking about that, and you were very selective, and why, and your why behind it, and then bringing the, I mean, look, you know, here you have someone who actually produced a video music song, and then did a book, and then almost has nothing out of it but everything goes almost to the, you know,
right. And we're
organization helping.
selling it for $2.99 right now.
I can't
Wow.
believe it. I mean,
So
it's
go,
like
yeah, go down
it's a
to,
gift.
Get it, and let's feed the world and create more joy.
Amen.
yeah, so go down to her website. It's down in the description right now. $2.99. That's like, um,
Oh my
yeah,
God, that's crazy.
it's like
I
maybe
I
know.
just
half
could.
a cup of
I
coffee
was
at
like,
I did
Starbucks.
that because I know where people are struggling, and I wanted to be able to offer it so that people could get it and experience the joy and the gratitude, and also be able to offer that gift to the World Central Kitchen.
Yes.
Amen. Beautiful. What
Bring
a
it to your
beautiful
family.
heart.
Yeah, bring it to your family. Bring joy and
You know,
gratitude
yeah,
experiences.
right. Kids
I'm
would love
telling you
this.
that this is a
I
beautiful one to start the day with schools, with workshops, with meetings. I'm telling you, it's so uplifting. And the music of it would make you feel like you want to play. It's just like so joyful.
So, are you ready to sing it?
Are you ready?
So really? You're gonna sing it, or you're just gonna mouth it, and I'm just hear my weird voice?
We gotta put it back on and we'll all sing with the music.
So
Yeah.
go grab the down at Dr. Joanne's website right now, please. So
Uh-huh.
you can help contribute joy and gratitude to the world, and making a difference with your contribution as well. And again, bring it to your family, bring it to
Feed the
your
world, give
schools.
people food and resources for sustenance and
Yes,
all that beautiful stuff. Yeah.
I
exactly.
mean, tell them a little bit about the organization, because I think people, when they understand what they're doing, it's going to be even bigger than that, just bringing joy to their hearts. But now they're also helping feed other families, and that's
Yeah,
really huge.
right. They're doing a lot with COVID, with restaurants, with communities in the United States, but they're also working with farmers, working with people all around the world to help, not just for the immediate, here's food, but also to be able to sustain life and to create, planting food and vegetables, and helping,
Mm.
teaching people how to sustain themselves and their communities. And it's
And
just,
very important. I mean,
yeah,
because
yeah.
we need it.
Yes, we need it now more than
Mm,
ever.
we really
Yes.
do. And that's just amazing. I'm so happy that we were able to share some airtime with your extremely busy schedule. I mean, seriously, I'm so happy that we have this beautiful lifetime memory online forever shared. And the blessings and the presence of your spirit is so delightful.
Well,
Always, always, always.
you guys are such a joy.
Yes.
Yes, I love that. I can't do that. So I'm going to sing a version, and you're going to answer. Are you grateful for your eyes? Are you grateful for your thighs? Are you grateful for your friends and family?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
grateful for my
For
eyes,
my
and I'm
eyes,
grateful
I'm
for my
grateful
I'm
for
grateful,
thighs.
my
guys. And
Grateful for my friends
she
and
goes thighs and
family.
she goes up.
Oh, got it. Yes.
I like the demonstration on her end.
And
You
we're
gotta be grateful and
grateful for
flexible with Dr.
Joanne.
Joanne. We have to bring the flexibility out too, please.
I adore the three of you because I
Yeah.
adore you all, everybody, but I adore the two of you. You guys are such
Aw.
beautiful
Ah.
Aw.
and I am so glad that we have met and we share so much beauty and joy and connection together because that is so precious. So thank
I
you.
mean, it was instant from the first time we had a conference call, all three of us, and the
Right.
truth is, like instantly, it was full of joy and flow of beautiful feeling, and that got us to laugh so hard that it was just contagious, and we couldn't stop.
We couldn't stop.
And we have to say that every time, like Sofie and I had a conversation, a very brief conversation last night, and we started to laugh every time we.
It doesn't matter if the conversation is
Doesn't matter.
intellectual or if it's advice or if it's anything. It has to end with laughter.
But there's a lesson in that. The lesson is that, again, you can, out of whatever you're dealing with, you can find something to latch onto that allows you to feel lighter, that allows you to feel lifted, that allows you to feel connected. And that's a choice that we have. And I choose, and you guys choose, to make that decision on a daily basis because we're here to uplift ourselves and to uplift each other. And we have to do that. So choose.
You know, I have this beautiful, it's like, you know, a decorative plaque, and it says, I choose joy. And I have it like in the center of my house. So every time I pass it, it's just like another charge of reminder, you know, and it's really a choice, like you said. It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is. Hello, Vicky. How are you?
Oh, what a joy. Joy.
Oh my goodness, long time, Rocky. He's back.
I love you.
Yes, we love you, Rocky. And Sasha, where's Sasha, Rocky?
Sasha, where's Sasha?
Sasha's over there.
Oh.
Over there. I don't know. Sasha. Wake up,
So my
Sasha.
next book, by the way, my next book is going to be about the head injury, but not about, not that, but more about some techniques that can help people, some alternative ways like peppermint oil that I put on my and my neck, even to this day, that help with increasing blood flow to the brain. And also, and again, being able to have other people who don't get it to kind of experience it, what somebody can go through so that there's more empathy and understanding.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's amazing.
I haven't written it yet, but it's
on your list. Knowing you just keep popping books left and right.
We're working on a screenplay for More Heaven, so
I remember that. Yeah.
But right now, that would still in the screenplay works.
Well, I know that both you have to get going, and we're actually at the end right now, and it's just been a wonderful experience having the joy and the light and the love that you bring, Joanne, all the time.
Amen. Yes.
Amen.
All the time. It's all the time.
You guys bring it out of everybody that you come across. So thank you for bringing that out of me, and for all of the love that you share. You guys are thank you.
And everybody, again, go to Dr. Joanne's website down below, and for only $2.99, you can bring joy and gratitude to yourself, and also help an amazing cause, helping people that are starving in this world, just making a difference. And if you want to bring Dr. Joanne White as your coach to help you uplift yourself to become a higher level self, again, contact her via her website, drjoannewhite.com. It's in the description. And just want to thank everybody for tuning in. And again,
Yeah.
thank you, Dr. Joanne White,
Mwah.
for being
Thank
part of
you.
this wonderful experience.
Thank
Amen.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Blessings, blessings. Thank you
Bye,
so much.
everybody. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.